So one of my biggest struggles being a part of this community is managing my money in a way where I can afford both Veve NFTs and the Omi token. So that being said, I'd like to introduce you all to the first official partner of this channel, UThrive. UThrive is an app that allows you to optimize your credit card use to maximize profits. On average, most people using credit cards are missing out on at least $500 a year. You don't have to pay for anything at all. Before you make any purchase you normally make using your credit cards, UThrive will analyze your purchase in seconds and tell you which of your credit cards will give you the highest cash back and rewards, saving you hundreds of dollars a year. Doesn't matter if you're grocery shopping, getting gas, or planning a trip. Anytime you spend money, save money with UThrive. Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another Veve and Ecomi video. In this one, we are going to be covering some more of this amazing interview, y'all. This one is actually a pretty big topic that I wanted to cover. This is going to be going into the artist alley or the silent auctions and the one-of-one sales and stuff like that, because this is actually going to be big. Everyone has been talking about promotion, missed opportunities, and all that. You know that people just panic. People draw these conclusions without understanding the big picture, because we all only get bits and pieces. So people are doing the best they can to put things together, but sometimes are so overexcited about the Veve project that you don't realize, none of us have all the information. So if something doesn't make sense with the information we have, maybe with additional information, it would make more sense, but we're not going to get that. So you have to trust the team that you invested in. This is why I have the mindset that I have, because I understand that I'm not going to understand everything. I understand a lot. Like you can study, you can practice, you can learn, you can understand a lot, but there's always going to be something that you don't know, because we will never get all the information. So this is a big deal because of obviously the money. The money is going to be a big deal. We're going to be able to see how much whales are actually willing to spend for certain things. So that's going to be interesting to see how much people are willing to spend for certain things. But also, this is the type of stuff that's going to start making the news, like making news and stuff that can be promoted easily. Because like when everything was selling, when it comes down to these other NFT projects for all those crazy amounts of money, it was like one-of-ones and things like that. So now we're finna get introduced the things that's going to be one-of-ones, and the stuff that's going to be selling at these prices and at these rates is going to draw a lot of attention onto what Veve has. So that's just my perspective. I see it as a very, very positive thing, but we're going to dive into it. Rhys is going to sit here and explain a lot of what's going to be coming here. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and let's jump into it, y'all.
Like to hear what you guys say.
Yeah, that is the artist alley, what we're referring to. I think we're now calling it the artist program. It turns out DC actually has a line of collectibles called Artist Alley. So that was always just a placeholder name. So that will be the next vertical to roll out. I've got some info on you guys while we're here.
So he's just confirmed the Artist Alley is going to be the next vertical to roll out. So that's going to be big. This is definitely going to be big.
It is web only. So that you won't see it in the phone app, but it's web only. And that actually introduces silent auctions to the app as well, right? Because these pieces are going to be incredibly limited edition, one-of-ones, one-of-fives, that kind of thing. It's going to introduce silent auctions. So you can bid whatever you choose to bid on that piece. And obviously, once the timer expires, highest bid wins, right? And gets those pieces. So, I mean, we're talking some of the most exclusive items on the app.
And that's where you start to get celebrities and things like that interested in. Because we're early investors in Veve. We're here. We've got some pretty nice things. But these guys can just come in with their money. These high rollers come in, pay $10 million for something. Like, let's say they release a one-of-one Mona Lisa. Like, whoever buys that, like, come on, like, you're going to be known. You're going to get the credibility for buying the first NFT version of it, because more than likely it's going to be pieces like that, some stuff that's pretty important and significant pieces if it's going to be a one-of-one. So probably some stuff from some famous artists like Banksy. So yeah, like it's going to be a bragging thing. And this is what's going to bring a lot of publicity to everything else that's on Veve, because we saw what happened. So when all these sports players and stuff was jumping into NFTs, everybody was on every NFT project. The best thing about Veve is that when these same celebrities are buying stuff on Veve, getting all this buzz going around and stuff, people are going to hear about Veve, hear what the celebrity is buying, obviously they're not going to come over and be able to buy the same thing as the celebrity, but what will they be able to buy? The stuff that we have. They're going to be able to buy our stuff is going to be the stuff that's closer to their price range than any of this stuff that a celebrity would be willing to come and buy, like one of ones, one of fives, and all that. So I think that this is huge. This is a very, very big deal, and one of the biggest forms of marketing can come from this, especially if these publications are actually writing about these crazy amounts of sales. And obviously, if somebody's going to be spending this type of money to buy this, they probably are going to, unless they're like just a pure collector, like the celebrities, all celebrities and basketball players and stuff like that, they would make it public what their NFTs and all that. So people are going to want the world to know, oh, I just bought this. It's a flex. You can't really flex if no one knows you did it. So this is like I said, I believe that this is going to be massive. This is going to be key and moving Veve forward into the future, especially as far as bringing people on and getting them to want to spend more money on Veve. I think this is going to be one of the biggest things, actually.
There's a really great lineup of artists and people that are into this. So I'm sure we'll release the actual information on it soon. I think it's actually pretty close to being implemented. So there's all of those details. Just off the top of my head, I think you have 4 days to participate in the auction. You can change your bid if you choose to up it, but there are limitations on how often you can change the bid. Can't withdraw them, within an hour of it closing. Just simple things like that to stop people gaming them. But the artist program will be the next vertical that we see roll out on the app.
I think we had some hints and maybe some one-of-one premium IP pieces on some previous discussions. That'd be interesting. A one-of-one Mickey Mouse. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And just to follow up with that question though, so like
a one-on-one Mickey Mouse would be crazy. That would be amazing. And I would love to see a one-on-one Mickey Mouse, because obviously that's going to be the most valuable one. But at the same time, that's going to make everybody want the other Mickey Mouse on the platform, all the other Mickey Mouse ones on the platform. So you're going to go to the one of your price range. Maybe it's the partner statue. That's the most significant outside of a one-of-one. And I mean, it could arguably be depending on the mint number. Depending on the mint number, it could arguably be more important than a partner statue could be more important than like a one-of-one Mickey Mouse. But it just really depends, like what the history of this piece would be. If it is that painting, if it's that $200,000 Mickey Mouse painting, and that's the one-of-one, then no, like I don't think the partner statue is going to outdo that, because that's an actual physical world grail as well. But I mean, this is massive. This will be huge as a whole. I think that it does bring more interest back to all the other items on Veve. So this is what I think that this stuff do. Depending on what type of stuff they plan on releasing, it brings interest to the things that we already hold, which is very, very beneficial for us.
That we talked about like trading cards, anime, so that's good. But how about like for comics? We just recently did a video where comics. There was an old Marvel app where you would actually be able through your phone to open the comic book, a digital one, and you would see a hologram pop up. And we thought that'd be a really cool idea for Veve. Imagine you read the comic books and almost like a short little hologram story is activated as you flip through the pages. Is that something you guys ever considered?
Yeah. I mean, we've considered a lot of things, right? We do see a lot of comics with moving covers as well, right, across the internet, and they look amazing. Really, all of those things are up to Marvel, right? If we're using Marvel as the publisher,
So basically, what he just said is that utility is going to be up to Marvel. What utility they're allowed to do, stuff like that, because that is a form of utility. Adding a whole video sequence to a comic book would be a more valuable piece of utility to the comic, so that would increase the value. And I mean, I don't know. They would have to be sold on the idea, and the fact that they're thinking about it, talking about it. I'm sure they know that. It's probably just a timing thing. It's more than likely going to go.
They want to build out those implementations or add utility, for lack of a better term. I'm personally more excited about when wearable AR has become a more adopted technology, right? Because then instead of looking at it on the phone or seeing this thing, like you can actually see a story play out in front of you, right? Instead of like these little things. So, look, I think that's where the technology is going. We're only becoming more immersed in digital tech. As to when that becomes the norm or becomes adopted, who knows? But I've always, and I've said this in a few AMAs, like I've always envisioned a day where we're wearing AR glasses walk across the Golden Gate Bridge and there's a giant Risso hanging above it, and it airdrops you collectibles, right, or things like that. Like,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, we will get to a point where everywhere you look, there's digital advertisements and digital items and digital collectibles and quests that you can go on to get to, the walking tour around a city will change because you'll be incentivized to go to locations. And
that's huge. That is actually massive. And being incentivized to go to locations and stuff like that, you realize that this is Pokemon Go, right? And guess what company Veve is working with? The same company that made Pokemon Go. What I believe is going to happen is we're going to get some type of experience similar to this. We're going to get it, but on the phone for now. And then once this technology comes, it's going to enhance the experience that they're already working on. So these ideas and things like that, it didn't just come out of thin air. This is stuff that they're more than likely talking about. This is stuff that they're more than likely planning on doing. And we've heard them speak a little bit about some of this stuff here and there already, but the detail that Rhys is going into right now, it's actually pretty significant. So yeah, this is, if Rhys is thinking like this, it just tells you all know David Yu, like what David Yu want. He was the one first excited about Ready Player One. Like he wanted to build Ready Player One. So you can just imagine the what they're attempting to do here. And this is why it's not going to be easy. This is why it's going to take time. You know how like walking somewhere in a city and you get airdropped something, like you just walk under a random bridge and get an airdrop something on the Veve app. Imagine something like that actually happening. Like that would be crazy. And you know how difficult it's going to be to build out things like this? What they're trying to do isn't easy. And we don't know what they're working on at any given time. So yeah.
And things like that, right? So like it's all coming, but we're talking like 10 years before those kind of things.
Yeah, you need
10 years. I wonder where we've heard that number before. I mean, listen, I try to point out what's the most logical. I try to point out logical things, and sometimes I get a lot of backlash for it, but this is not something that happens overnight. I am a former developer. I worked with licenses before. I've worked with big brands. I know how long they take to get things done. Like this Veve, what Veve is trying to do, this is just scratching the surface. This is the beginning. Like we're slowly getting additions and add-ons to the gift shop. Like that's where we're at right now. We're finally getting some additions and good add-ons to the gift shop. That's it. And people are already giving up, losing hope and stuff like that because they never understood that what Veve is trying to build is so much far past what we can currently see right now. They never wrapped their head around that because they were only focusing on the dollar signs and stuff coming in. Oh, everything's pumping. It's a bull market. Everything's going up. I'm making so much money. And they were blinded by that they never actually understood what they were getting into. All they saw was profits and returns. So now when these profits and returns are gone and they don't understand why because they never educated themselves, they leave. They give up. They abandon the project, not realizing that it's always been much deeper than you realize. And once things are back up, it's going to be too late for you. Like you chose to leave. But not financial advice, just my personal opinion,
You need to have the glasses where they're not so bulky and people can walk around and see things. And no, I've always thought that was the future of how this is all going to play out eventually. Like Starbucks has their menu on the wall and you just go up and tap what you want, something like that. Or you can pull up the menu in front of you and tap it.
If you think about it, like you won't need TV screens anymore.
Yeah.
Pin Netflix to the wall and look at it through your glasses, right? Like all of those phones will become obsolete because it'll be attached to us. And the only counter argument I ever see to that is like, oh, I'll never be that attached to technology, or I'll never get a chip, or this or that. It's like,
yeah, I think some people are already wearing glasses anyway. All technology would have to do is get so advanced that you can put the technology in glasses. Like imagine pressing a button on the TV remote and it pops up right on your glasses across the room somewhere. You can literally put stuff wherever it needs to be. So like it stays wherever you put it. So like I could be watching TV through my glasses on a random wall in the room. Like that's not far-fetched. It's actually this type of stuff that's being worked on. Like this is why they're working so hard on this type of stuff that they're building. Like this is the future that we're moving towards. Like whether people see that or not.
We're already there. People don't put the phone behind. You got Apple Watches. You got like the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's
true.
All right, y'all. So yeah, we're gonna end it here, man. This was a pretty this was a lot of information in this video, a lot of things to digest. I do want to break down some more points throughout this. So obviously, you all know I was gonna do multiple videos. It's always important to go over this stuff. This is how you stay sharp. This is how you stay educated. This is how you really understand and break down what something means, because this is, I mean, this is money. Like, this is money. The more you understand, the more money you stand to make, because honestly, you hear some of this stuff, you understand what this means. Some of you all are going to see something from a perspective that even I don't see, and you're going to be able to capitalize on something, and more than somebody who don't take the time to actually listen. Like, it's easy to watch a Veve video like it's a TV show and just don't actually really care about the information. But if you understand and really understand what you're hearing, you know the opportunities. Like you because honestly, I'll let you all in on a secret. Veve is part of the reason that I've invested in other things even outside of Veve, because I understand what is going to be more popular and what's going to be more valuable in the future. So I'm making money in other companies and stuff like that because of Veve. So I'll just leave it there. Shout out to the Patreon. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that being said, y'all, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out, fam.